some hotcakes and sausage. Haven't had hotcakes and sausage in a dog's age. I'll see if I can get it open here. Not making too much noise. There we are. Hotcakes and sausage. Egg McMuffin. And a large coffee. 1 cream, 1 sugar. It's been a while since I've done McDonald's breakfast. I'll just slather on some butter here. There we go. I've been wanting to do a Wendy's breakfast lately. They stopped serving breakfast a bit earlier than McDonald's. I'm not sure when, but I know it's a bit earlier. So I want to try one of those Cinnabon pull-aparts. I'd like to try one of those. They look good. Apparently it's only a breakfast item. I thought it was something they had all the time, all day long, but apparently not, so. Now, I'm going to sort of stack these up here a bit like that. I'll do my best. Okay, might get a bit messy here. There we are. Just slather that over there. They only give you 1 serve. I guess I could have asked for extra. But 1 is better than none. Okay, there we go. Actually, there's quite a bit in here. It's been a while since I've had this, like I said. Now I got that one on the bottom there. That last little pancake there. There we go. That's quite a bit of syrup there. That's good. My fork. Yes. There. I love pancakes and waffles. It'd be nice if McDonald's would come out with waffles. Maybe they've tried that already, I don't know. I generally find waffles to be a little bit lighter and airier. Pancakes can be kind of doughy sometimes and very filling. Get that sugar mixed around there. You know, the other day I had to take my mom and my sister to a hotel because we had this big store. Actually, it wasn't the other day, it was a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever. And so we're driving there, and they got their room, and the restaurant wasn't open for some reason. Wouldn't be open till dinner. So there's a McDonald's just down the street, so I took them to McDonald's. And my sister ordered my mom got a medium coffee. She drinks a black. My sister got a medium coffee. 3 cream and 3 sugar. It's like, oh, man. To me, that sounds gross. I don't like my coffee with too much cream. It makes it kind of milky, like thick. A little too milky and a little too rich. About maybe 5-6 weeks ago, Linda and I went to visit our neighbor down the street. Her husband passed a little bit more than a year ago. We knew them both. Very lovely people, and I worked with both of them. So did Linda. Lovely people. And he died quite young. But we went to visit her because she retired. And we bought her a lovely little bush for her garden as a retirement gift. Because when I retired, they bought something for me that was similar, and I thought that was a very nice gesture. Very unexpected, too. But she was telling me she was going to drive to Ontario to visit relatives. And I thought, That's nice. Didn't really think nothing about it really, because there's Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, then Ontario. It's a long drive. But as we're leaving, Linda said, "Man, she's kind of crazy to be driving this time of year." And I got thinking, yeah, winter's coming on. A lot of those highways, once you get towards the prairies, you can get snow and everything else, right? It can be pretty treacherous. Now, a lot of times, this time of year, when the weather is really snarly, Linda and I like to go to secondhand stores, that sort of thing. There's two in particular that we always visit. And one is in a town not too far from here called Ladysmith. And there's another one just beyond that, little few more miles. And they're both huge. The one in Ladysmith is the old post office, right on the main drag as you go through town. The highway actually. And it's like about 3 floors, I think. Huge old building, beautiful old building. And it's just, it's really, really nice. Just crammed full of stuff. Like not junk, but really good stuff. Really good. I bought some old Edison 78 records there once. But they have, a lot of times we go there, pretty much every year, this time of year. And sometimes they'll still have the same stuff, from year to year, but quite often, you see new stuff, obviously. For a long time, they had this old dentist chair. It was pretty cool. It was really old, really vintage. Scary looking, actually. It's been a while since I had McDonald's breakfast, like I said, and this is really good. But anyways, the secondhand store, I just love poking around there. It's so interesting. And even the thrift stores, and some of them, a lot of them just have like clothes and jigsaw puzzles and odds and ends and stuff, right? But you can find some pretty cool stuff there. Yeah, that's good. Linda makes pancakes for her grandkids a lot. Like she'll make banana pancakes with chocolate chips in them, and then on top of that they have syrup and that whipped cream in a can. It's like, wow. And then she'll say to me, "Man, these sure are hyper today." Can't imagine why. Well, this is good. I think what I should do is start ordering a second sausage patty, because I like these sausage patties. These are good. Sometimes when I go to pick up food, I'll go inside the restaurant, even though they have a drive-through. Because if I'm not exactly sure what I want to be able to study the menu, and you don't always have time to do that in the drive-through. And sometimes it's nice to ask a few questions and just sort of look at things, and I like to do that just to see what I want to get. Because sometimes when I go through there, the menu's right there, you got cars behind you, and you don't really have a chance to look. So a lot of times I go online, and I look online before I go there to see what they have. Fast food restaurants, their menus have gotten so extensive in the last few years. It used to be, you went to, the A&W, it was the burger family. You went to McDonald's, you had, choice of a few hamburgers and fries and shakes, and that was it, Now they got salads and breakfast and burritos and you name it. Now there's another secondhand store we go to. Like I said, it's a little bit further up the road. It's called the Emporium. It's like in an old barn or something, but it's really cool. And I think it's about 3 floors at least. They always have a big wood stove in there burning, keep it nice and toasty. I gotta get a second patty next time I'm there. So anyways, we went to this Emporium, and a few years ago, like I said, we go there every year. A couple of years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, we were there, and I noticed somebody had they sell on consignment. People bring the stuff in and sell it on consignment. Somebody had all these Hardy Boy books, and they're the ones that I remember from the 60s, like the blue cover, But then they had some that were even older, like from the 40s and stuff like that. And they had kind of the color was similar to this, that sort of like a light brown tan color. And so I noticed a lot of the titles from the newer books, the blue ones that I remember from the 60s, had the same titles as a lot of the older books from the 40s. But I opened them up to compare. Different wording altogether. I'm not sure if the story was the same or just written differently, but I expected to see, the same opening dialogue and everything else, right, on page 1 or 2, and it was completely different. Now I'm one of these guys. If I had money to burn, believe me, I'd buy a lot of stuff that I don't need or want, really, but it's funny, on Facebook the other day, I saw this picture of a secondhand store. Now, I don't know if this is real, it certainly looked real, but it was funny anyway, even if it wasn't real, it was funny. And it was called Shit You Don't Need, I thought, what a perfect name for a secondhand store, My mom just can't resist stuff like that. She knows you don't need it, she knows you don't want it, but she has to have it anyway. It was so funny. My mom was a garage sale freak and hoarder and everything else for years, still is, but she has mobility issues now because she's quite elderly and frail. But she used to sell at the Sunday flea market for years, did that for years and years. And of course, she hasn't done it now in probably, I don't know, maybe 6, 7, 8 years, maybe. Ever since she gave up her license. I can't remember when that was exactly, anyways, probably about 6 or 7 years ago. But I drove her to the flea market one time because she just wanted to see some of her old friends, some of her old vendors, and some of the, the people that go there, the this one beautiful Sunday, and they have vendors inside, and of course during the summer the weather's nice, they're outside as well. And she saw one of her friends there, and she was selling some stuff, and Mom starts talking to her, and they're talking away, and then Mom sees something, she picks up, she goes, how much is this? And the lady said, never mind, you don't need it, that's the last thing you need is more stuff. And she took it away from her, right, and wouldn't even sell it to her. I thought that was so funny. I thought, good for you. It was all kind of in jest, but still, this lady realized my mom has more stuff than she needs. She still can't get a vehicle in her garage because there's so much stuff in there. But getting back to those Hardy Boy books, stuff like that is quite interesting, quite fascinating. To me, things like that are like a time capsule. It'd be interesting to know the history behind a lot of those things, And that's part of the reason I find coin collecting to be so interesting. Because those coins, I have many, many coins that are well over 100 years old, a couple hundred years old. I have one from the 1600s. I forgot to get bacon. That's the thing about going to the drive-thru. I feel kind of pressured. I have to get a bacon and egg McMuffin. I just got an egg McMuffin. Still good, but it's missing that bacon flavor and crunch. Got a tiny bit of syrup there. I made beef stroganoff for dinner last night. Oh man, it was so good. So good and so easy. I'll try to remember to post a link to my cooking channel for beef stroganoff because it's so easy to make. And so good. And you know what I did last night? Usually I'll buy like a, steak, like New York steak, and just slice up real thin or whatever. But I bought some beef for stir fries. It was actually quite good. Secondhand stores, they got some real cool stuff. And sometimes when I want to buy something, I think, do I really want to buy this? Like, it's cool, it's old, it's vintage, it's antique. But do I really want it? Do I really need that? Like, what am I going to do with it? I have a cousin who's about 3 years younger than me. There was 5 girls and a boy. He was the youngest, the only son. His dad was from Norway, emigrated here, and years ago. I mean, can't remember when, but he started a farm, did very well. Did very well. And of course, he's passed away a number of years ago, but you know, in his tradition, the son inherits everything, basically, and that's what happened. The 5 daughters, you know, they all got married and did their own thing, but my cousin got the whole farm, the big house and everything. And that's the only place he's ever lived all his life. He was born in 1960. He's never lived anywhere else. That same house. That's cool. But he collects a lot of antiques. Wow. His house is like a museum. Now a lot of it is he's paying homage to his own family, his own ancestors, his family tree, that sort of thing. Well, that's really cool. Coffee's really good today. I love McDonald's coffee. Now Subway has a breakfast. I want to try that one of these days. There's a lot of restaurants that serve breakfast that never used to years ago. They all want a piece of the action. My parents used to have a lot of antiques. Wow. Old phonographs. You wind them up, you know. Got a big horn, you know. That sort of thing. All kinds of stuff. Making everything out of wood now. It's not as smooth as plastic. It's like sucking on a 2x4. I have to admit, McDonald's does a good job of breakfast. the Subway's breakfast online. Looks quite interesting. And there's a franchise, this Canadian franchise called White Spot, Triple O, and they do breakfast. And they got these big breakfast burgers. I've never tried one, but at least I don't think I did. I've been meaning to. I don't think I've tried it. I better go back and look at my videos, but I really don't think I've ever tried out the White Spot breakfast burger. I've seen it online. It looks kind of like a big hamburger. It looks really big, so it looks like something I'd like to try. And I know Tim Hortons has a good breakfast, stuff like that. Man, Tim Hortons, their drive-thru's got to be the busiest one in town. But people go there just for coffee. Personally, I think their coffee's overrated. I'll take McDonald's any day. I should have got another egg McMuffin. I asked for a couple of hash browns, but because it was getting close to lunchtime, they didn't have hash browns anymore, or some weird thing like that. It's good going through the drive-thru. I see a lot of these young people working there, and you can tell they're really enjoying themselves. Very polite and friendly. And you see some older people too. There's one lady. Well, there's a couple of them. This one in particular. She's always so friendly and chipper. She's the one that takes your money and all that, right? At the first window. And she's always so polite and chipper and have a good day. She looks so cute with her headphones on, or whatever. And she's an older woman, certainly not a teenager. I guess she's probably in her 40s or something, but very nice. And yeah. But there's some people that they're just so funny, not funny, but funny in a good way, because they're so polite and just, and they're trying to say things like real nice things, like have a good day and blah blah blah, and there you go, dear, thank you. Wow. Yeah, those pancakes were really good. It's funny how, I don't know how they do it. If they get them frozen or what they do, but man, they come out just right. They're very good. That's why I wish they would do waffles, man. That'd be great if they could do waffles. The thing about waffles, I really like waffles, but those big Belgian waffles are nice, but I'd like to get them with the strawberries and the whipped cream and blah, blah, blah. And it always seems like they're huge, but it always seems like one isn't quite enough, Two might be too much, maybe 1.5 would be good. But a few weeks ago, I was in this other town. I traveled up there, and she was having this minor surgery at the time, and I went and had breakfast. It was still dark, and the restaurant opened at 6:30. I got there at 6:31. 6:31. I was the only customer in there at that time, and the guy comes along, and I ordered, eggs and hash browns, that sort of thing, and I could have a choice of toast or half a waffle. And I took the half a Belgian waffle, and it was so nice because I had butter and syrup on it, plus I had my eggs and my sausage and bacon or whatever, it was just a real hearty breakfast, just the kind I really like. And it was kind of nice to have that waffle with the syrup, that little bit of sweetness, it's just, and, of course I was with a customer, so there was the waiter and the waitress, they were all over me, topping up my coffee. And then, of course, they got this group coming in that meets her every, I think I was there on a Thursday, and I heard the guy say it was their weekly meeting, so they meet every Thursday, I guess, in a separate room. But anyways, the service was still good, But so when I walked out of there, the sun was coming up. It wasn't quite up, but it was getting light anyway, so. So, you may wonder why I record my videos ahead of time. Kind of takes the pressure off knowing I have videos already uploaded, or at least in the can, waiting to be uploaded. Because, we never know what's around the corner. Stuff comes up. And especially now with Christmas coming, it's very busy. My cooking channel, put as much effort into my videos as just into my ASMR. It's just the cooking videos just take longer because you actually have to prepare this food. You have to take pictures of it. You have to have different camera angles, and there's the introduction, like the intro, the outro, and then I do this thing called helpful hints, and I gotta have pictures and remove the background, paste them all in. The editing is just unbelievable. Select music. I spend like 4 or 5 days, if not longer, on these videos. So, in essence, what I'm trying to say is, before I start recording a kitchen video, I want to make sure I've got, ASMR videos already uploaded. That way I don't have to, start tearing down my set for my kitchen and going back to doing an ASMR video. Because once I get my camera set up, I have to keep the same angle, the microphone in the same place, and same levels, and blah blah blah. It gets very technical, the same lighting and whatever. So, just for that reason, and like I said, it's nice just to have the comfort of knowing I got stuff done ahead of time. So, rather than panicking and throwing something together in a big rush, which I don't like to do. I don't think I've ever rushed any of my videos, to be honest about it. But anyways, wow. Okay, well, almost finished my coffee. I love breakfast. I've said many times before, breakfast is my favorite meal. I just love it, Usually my breakfast is oatmeal with, we can our own peaches, so I just grab a can of peaches and that'll last me about a week, One peach half or a couple of quarters, slice them up, throw them in. I probably mentioned all this before you think, man, Mark, you're repeating yourself. Well, that's okay. Oh, very good coffee. Like even a coffee this size, I wouldn't get 3 cream and 3 sugar. And the one my sister got was a lot smaller. I was like, oh. Well, there it is, my friends. That's my breakfast. Wow. Fantastic. Okay, so you look after yourselves, look after each other. We'll see you next time, okay? Oh, by the way, people have asked me about, a pizza video and stuff like that. All that stuff is coming. It may be in the new year, but it is coming, okay? So be patient. More Chinese food, more pizza, more Subway, more burgers and stuff. So, and more epic stories. Got lots of those. Okay, we'll see you next time, okay?